Pratamam Sa Kasturi tilakam lalata patale vakshastale kaustubham nasagre Varamautikam Kartile Venuhu Kare Kam Kanam Nama Kamalana Bhaya Nama Kamalama Nama Kamalapa Namaste Kamalekshana Yo Brahmanam Vidhati Purvam Yo Vaivedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tagvam Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumikshurvai Sharanamaham Prapade Bhajo Giridhara Govinda Gopala Bhajo Giridhara Govinda Gopala Bhajo Giridhara Govinda Gopala Bhajo Giridhara Govinda Ladli Lal Ki Jai. So a mini series about Seva. This is the one thing that we all want to do. It is our nature to want to give and serve. And around the world you will see, as the promotional material, whenever somebody excels in Seva, the world applauds. Someone did a heroic deed, someone donated to help the poor, and so on. Somebody did the Seva of helping their neighbor next door when they needed ambulance, and so on. But the Seva that we are talking about, it is not external. And the Seva that people are performing, they are believing that they are doing it to someone else, not understanding the real profound nature of what is Seva. And so our life is passed in such a way that we are trying to fulfill the need of Seva while the sands of our time, i.e. our human life, is getting shorter and shorter and shorter as we speed towards our final ultimate, this death of this life, this body. And we don't satisfy it. So I know you are understanding of the philosophies of our Sri Maharaji, but we can't hear it enough. We need to act on it. So let's start again at the beginning and build what is Seva right up to the point where the ultimate divine love is experienced and realized. Vedavyas wrote a phrase, a seva, a shloka, Sarvesham api bhutanam nripaswadmaiva vallabha. He said, "Oh, human beings, whatever you do, no exception, you do for the sake of the Atma, the soul, to be joyful and be happy." Such a big statement. Everything that we do is for the sake of the self. Nava are patyu kamaya patihi priyo bhavati. This verse says, you may think that you do actions for the sake of your wife or your child or your parent or any kind of activity whatsoever, but it is for the sake of the self, the jivatma, the soul. But for some reason, our capacity at this point in time to accept such a profound, broad, yet simple statement, contradictory, profound yet simple, for some reason we fall at this point. And this is because we have not yet appreciated the gift of the Mahapurush explaining us what this Atma is. Instead, we live in illusionment. There are three great illusions, which is a phrase I like to use, that describes us beautifully. The first one is, we take that to be permanent, which is impermanent. We take that to be permanent, which is impermanent, will cease to be, fade away, finish. Like what? Everything. Start with, this is my body. My body. If it's my body, you should be able to keep it because it belongs to you, but you can't keep it. When Yamraj comes and says, time's up, leave the body, I'm taking you forcibly. And the body, made of the five elements, air, water, earth, and so on, it will just merge back into the five elements. Whether a body is buried or burnt. Swami Vivekananda said human life is like 3 minutes in a body of clay. 3 minutes. It was a memory ago when you were playing with your toys. It's a memory away when you're old and you're bent and you're grey. That's how fast he contended human life passes. This body passes, finishes. And our Guruji said, human life is like a drop of water on a red-hot frying pan. Psst. It's gone. And so when we say we take that to be permanent, which is impermanent, starting with your very body itself, we can't see the truth of it. It's amazing. Like all of Maharaji's pracharaks, we travel around the world giving talks to people, explaining your body could finish at any moment. And even if it didn't finish in this next moment, maximum 80, 90, 100 years, and it will end. Boom. Kaboom. Finished. What happens after that? Let's see. Let's see. This means the second aspect, you haven't understood the power of thought, of karma. What thought takes you where? Such a deep science our Sri Maharaji has shared with the world in a way that we can comprehend it. We just have to accept it. And what else is impermanent? Look around you. Your house, it will fade away and cease to be. Long probably after you've passed away, but it will cease to be. Your family, my family, my husband, my wife, my grandparent, my children, my grandchildren, my friends, my neighbors, my associates, whom I invest my whole life into. Will pass away. It's amazing, this great truth / illusion. And it's preventing us from going deeper. Why? Because we're a second great illusion. We think ourselves to be the body, which I was just discussing, instead of thinking ourselves to be the Atma. If you think yourself to be the Atma, then infinity opens before you, guided by the divine beloveds themselves. For instance, love. Yo vai bhuma tat sukham. This Vedic verse says the love of the infinite divine one is ever increasing. The Atma never can be burnt, cleaved, harmed. It is Sat. It is an eternal power. Because it is of Anshi, Vibhusat, the divine. So, to think yourself to be the Atma is to open your scope and to free yourselves of the tensions and the worries and the miseries and the fears. And to think yourself to be the body is to bring it, infinity, right down, 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 into this spotmatic, minute existence. So the second, to think yourself to be the body when you are the soul, the Atma, is equally profound. It's extraordinary. And Maharaji, quoting the great writings, gives this freely to us. When I share this knowledge with students of the yoga community, and when the Indian community hears that they say I teach at yoga studios, they think I'm going to get down there and do yoga postures. But I'm teaching karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. The yuj, to unite the Atma with the Paramatma, the divine. And when the yoga students hear about taking that to be permanent, which is impermanent, thinking yourself to be the body when you're the Atma, they scratch their heads in wonderment. I've not heard such things. And the third great illusion is looking for happiness where it isn't. Imagine. Looking for happiness where it isn't. We look externally through the senses, feeling, smelling, hearing, touching, seeing. This is where the joy is, and it is not. So you put these three things together, and you've got a problem. We are living in Maya, ajnana, ignorance of our true nature. And yet, when Vedavya said, Sarvesham api bhutanam, you are looking for happiness with every breath, We nod our heads and say, yes, I guess that makes sense. Even if I go to sleep, I'm sleeping because I don't want to be tired, and I don't want to be tired so that I feel better. When I eat because I don't want to be hungry, and when I eat, I feel better. I cry because I'm trying to take the grief out. When I'm sad, I want to remove the sadness and feel better. That's what my tears do. Everything is governed by the joy, or rather the aim of being happy. And so, looking for happiness where it is not is the most profound thing of all. And that is why we do Seva in the world. We look to the world to please us. And so we serve the world because we believe by serving these things, our own self-interest will be satisfied. And it doesn't happen like that. So we need to go deeper. We need to climb the steps of wisdom, of spiritual truth, and understand first and foremost this body that comprises of the intellect and the mind and the senses and the sense organs, the arteries and the blood. Everything that makes up this body is the servant. It serves the Atma. This is the first thing to understand. Your desire to be joyful, instead of understanding to serve the soul, you serve the world. Why does the body serve the soul? This is where we need to carefully understand the nature of the soul. The first word that is a descriptive word is Sat. The soul is Sat. It exists eternally. Okay. The second word of the soul is Chit. The Chit Shakti of the Atma enables the body to actually work, to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, to touch, is by the association of the Atma in the body. It is the Chit Shakti, the conscious giving power of the soul itself, that enables the body to work. So you have an eternal soul, and the nature of the soul when it's in the body is to give consciousness to the body. And the third, which is the name of the soul, is Anand, the blissful aspect of the soul. So Sat, eternal, Chit, conscious giving, and Anand. And I'm explaining the body serves the Atma. Why does the body serve the Atma? Because the Ananda nature radiates up to the conscious mind, find me the happiness, find it. And the mind says, okay, I'll find it for you. And comes up with chapatis, comes up with an ice cream, comes up with a holiday, comes up with children, comes up with a husband and a wife, comes up with go to this Bollywood movie, let's do this, let's do that, a new car, etc., snip and a tuck, blue hair, green hair, yellow hair. I'll do all of these things. I hear you. And so the intellect, hearing the vibration of the soul, show me the joy, because it is an ajnani intellect, impure, doesn't understand, looks in the world. But the intellect and the mind are serving the soul, even though it misinterprets the signal. Serves the soul. Okay, I will find you, I'll find you. And so your whole being, all of your senses, your body, everything looks for happiness. But it doesn't find it. Because it's looking in the wrong place. The Atma, it is Anshonana Vyapadeshat. The Atma is an ansh. It is a part of anshi, the whole. Everything is a part of something. We are a part of this room, which is a part of this mandir, which is a part of this property, which is a part of Duluth Highway, which is a part of Atlantic City, which is a part of North America, which is a part of planet Earth, which is a part of infinite space. We are a part of something. Even the body is a part of something. But the Atma, it is a part of the eternal Atma. Ya Atmani Tishtati. The Divine One lives with the Atma, and the Atma lives in the Divine One. Ya'u pranasya pranaha. The Atma, the soul, makes up the life's breath of the Divine. Chinmatram shrihreiransham sukshma makshara mavyayam. The Atma is the natural sevak, the natural servant, the natural lover of its divine nature, the whole, the anshi, the para-atma, Bhagwan. This is amazing if you think about it. The body has to serve the intellect. The intellect has to serve the Atma, because the Atma insists, find the joy. The Atma, the intellect, thinks it's in the world, but the world, being Maya Shakti, says no, 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 naiti, naiti, no, 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 no. And most people stop there because they're so confused. But the Guru comes along, if you are so blessed, and says, do you know why you're frustrated? Why you're feeling angry? Why you're feeling jealous? Why you're agitated? Why you're full of desire? Do you know why? The Guru says, do you know why? I know, Guruji. And then he tells you about the Atma. And then he tells you that the Atma makes up the body of the Divine, is the breath of the Divine, is a spark of the Divine, is a lover of the Divine. Hi. Imagine that. And so the idea of Seva, it depends on your intellect to understand. This is the problem, the intellect. There are two pools of knowledge, aparadharma and para. It is apara means incomplete, para, complete. The complete knowledge that involves what is this Maya, this world, what is this body, what is the Atma, what is birth, what is death, what is divine, what is material, what is love, what is not love. All of these sciences of karma and the koshas, etc., all comes from paradharma. And aparadharma, which is where most of us live, we hear, what did my parents say when I was a child? How did they instruct me as a child? What was their likings? Whatever my parents did, I did. And then I got a little older, and then I started saying, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do what I want to do. And so then we go to this school and that university and these friends and these books and this TV and that movie, and we suck it up, absorb the material nature. And intellect says, I know. What do you know? House, children, car, wealth, fame, name. This is what the aparadharma intellect thinks. But when the Guruji comes and says, there's another school of knowledge, it's the pure knowledge, it's the divine knowledge. It's the eternal relationship